OK? やろっか。やりますか。ちょっとね、お絵描き描こう。お絵描きお絵描き描こうじゃない。お絵描きしようかなと思ったんですけど。英語は毎日やろうって決めてるから、こっちを取りました。とりあえず。で、昼間にやっちゃったんですよ、私。今覚ね、解放しに来てたんですけど。昼間に。昼休憩の時に来てたんですけど。船乗ったら、始まっちゃうの忘れてて。ここからです。ということで、読んでいきます。You are the traveler. What are you doing here? Just looking around. Looking around? You think you can waltz in here and look at whatever you please. You know what this place is? これなんて読むんだっけ？ Hop. Forget it. It's pointless. Oi? Someone get over here. Tie up this busybody and feed them to the fishes. Alright. What's all the ruckus? You pretending to be important when ベイドゥでいいんだっけ？ベイドゥだっけ？ベイドゥズ not around again? This troublemaker snuck in here. Presumably? 合ってるかな？わからんな。Up to no good. And I thought I would just deal with this or Beidou. Alright, stop scaring people. If Beidou found out you were just tying up anyone who came in か。You'd be the one being dealt with かな。But this troublemaker should pay for sneaking なんだこれ onto the ship, right? Our ship isn't just for people to come and go as they please. Yes, I must just answer for my crimes. How should I make it up to you? I have an idea. Beidou has なんだこれ。アンチョレッド？アンコリッド？じゃないか。チョだよね。アンチョは、アンチョある。わからん。なんだこれ。the ship here. While she goes into the city for business. We can't leave the ship without orders. And the rest of the fleet is on patrol at sea. So they can't help us now. But some of the crew has errands in the city that they haven't been able to run. If you really want to make it up to us, go around the ship and see who needs help. You seem to be quite interested in our ship anyway. So explore a bit while you are helping out. だって。どこ？あ、それは違うやつですね。びっくりした。まず、勝利先生のとこ行かないとね。シニョーラに会わなきゃ。ここをね、漁りたかっただけなんだ、私は。It's always. ここに宝箱3つもあるんすよ。
How fortunate.
How fortunate.
What a bountiful home.
こんだけだっけ？もうちょいあった気がするけど、こんなもんか。この上とかないもんね。あ、大事なもん見つけた。これってロープの上って乗れたっけ？あー、乗れないか。ダメかな。頑張れ。兄さん頑張れ。よしよしよしよし。怖えー。ああもう一個向こうか。ああ、ダメだった。よしよし。No! よしよしよし。宝箱はこれ以外ないね。OK。じゃあ、待って。10消費先だな。ここかな。あ、そう、カズハ用のね、生物本赤の方ね。あれちょっと、昼間もうこうなっちゃったから、もうちょい時間あったからやってたんですけど、いいのできないね。でも一応、 4セット揃えたのと、熟知感まだ出てないからさ、水力で。で、そこはちょっと代わりに、ショーの生物のとこのやつで、ノーエスケープ。No.
Freeze.
はいはいはいはいはいはいはいはいはい。もうちょい強くしてあげなきゃな。こっちはまだモラっていうより経験値分の方が必要だからね。どこ？そっちか。ちょっと遠いな。パス。Here. Dodge this.
Oh, so sorry. Cool it.
Windblade.
Dodge this.
Dodge this. Already bring. Get up. Hi.
What's the hurry?
What's the hurry?
What's the hurry? Freeze.
Freeze. 痛い。
Windblade.
ブリンブリン。
Dodge this.
お、30になった。No。あ、待って、揃ってるっけそもそも。あ、1個足りない。取りに行こう。取りに行ってからレベルを上げるか。あるちゃんの方は足りてるはず。ところでさ、茎だけどさ、私、こっちでも。カズハが出ても、平蔵くんが出てもさ、稲妻じゃん。二人とも突破素材、多分。カズハは確実に、でしょ。マグーちゃんでしょ。で、Get frostbite. Get back. Oh, 危ない危ない。No escape. あー、危ない危ない。あ
Got me.
ー、no。あ、使っちゃった。まあ、いいか。ナンバー。まだか。No。はい。はい。はい。
Windblade.
ブリンブリン。
Yeah.
はい。
Cool it. Oh, so sorry.
No one escapes my sight.
危ない危ない。No。
Freeze.
Windblade.
Get back.
Get back。
Cool it.
No。
What's the hurry?
No。No。No。No。はい。Go go very very。
No escape.
No escape。
Prepare to be blown away.
Run away。
Dodge this.
That's this。
Don't get
さっ
frostbite.
きフォスパイン。
Freeze.
危ない危ない。No。
Bet you can't keep up with me. Get him.
Get up。
Dodge this.
Let it rain.
Very very please。No。
Windblade.
危ない。
Go go Baron.
Go go very very。 危な。
Cool it. Freeze.
はい。OK。いいね。2個出た。で、兄さんを強くできるね。くらいならいいか。何かが足りない。何？作りに行こう。OK。And Astra Vessels. Welcome to the Adventures Guild. が未だに追って言えない。 OK。12やったな。OK。8も必要なのか。あと5ない。あ、もう全然足りない。ランク35にしなきゃいけないからね。こんなもんにしとくか。ドラちゃんかわいい。何が足りないの？え？嘘。あ、そっか、受け取らなきゃ足りないよ。そりゃそうだ。クラフト。これか。12。これ作ってもな
Ad Astra
Abyssask. Welcome to the Adventures Guild. 難しい。あ、ここであったじゃん。まあまあまあ、次も必要だからね。
Ad Astra
Abyssask. Welcome to the Adventures Guild. で、やっと言えるようになってきたね。14日目にしてやっと。お、ティミー。OK。
What's the hurry? Cool it.
これだな。いけ。No! You again. You. Yes. All my pigeons off again. I was feeding them. What do you have to say for yourself? Oops. Well, mommy always tells me that if someone's really sorry, they will show it with their actions, not their words. The rich pigeons are my friends. I feed them all the time. But these days the ducks are coming and stealing their food, and the pigeons never have enough to eat anymore. I want you to find 3なんだこれfeet for me and feed them to the ducks. While you are doing that, I can make sure the Bridge pigeons get enough to eat. Once both sides have had enough to eat, maybe everyone can become friends. Sure. I think not the friendship of pigeons. Whether you want to be their friend or not, you owe them an apology. So hurry up and get that wheat. Wheat でいいのかな？ White でもないしな。Wheat でいいのかな。Found the wheat yet? Yep. It looks like enough. Take it down to the lake and feed it to the ducks. Okay. 行ってくるぜ、ティミー。任せておくれ。じゃこん、freeze。ティミー。
What's the hurry?
I'm sure they'll all get much better after a nice meal. Next time you are passing by, please try not to scare off the pigeons. It's hard work to get them to come back again. I'll be more careful in future. Alright. I forgive. I forgive you. Here, have a monster hash brow. They're my favorite. Mommy says you should always be kind to others. で、君消えた。君バニッシュ。
What's the hurry?
バニッシュで消えるとかなかったっけ？そんな感じの意味あった気がするけど。A great bar, a black whale in the open seas. Yes, this will surely be a bestseller. What do you mean by a giant black whale? Softer? Please. This is my magnum opus in progress we are talking about here. Well, since you seem interested, allow me to give you a sneak peek. Imagine this an epic tale on the high seas with a heroic fisherman Shaman King fisherman passing a giant black hole Listed be a bestseller for sure. But don't you breathe word of this to anyone you hear? Such glorious inspiration cannot be reclaimed. Should they be lost to someone else? てか、いつになったら、あれできるん？釣り。釣りってなんか前提任務あったっけ？後で調べよう。とりあえず先生のとこ行こう。ずっと行ってないんだ。北国銀行行こう。
What's the hurry?
北国銀行ってなんて言ったっけ？ついで世界任務受けていこうか。まだ時間じゃないし。Hey, I can't stand it. What's wrong? My work with the Ministry of Cyber Affairs has really been filling up recently. And right now, I'm assigning them to people. I just finished organizing forms that I need various people to fill out, but I don't have any time to distribute them. I can help. Sounds complicated. You'll do that? Great. It's really not complicated. Everything I need is written very clearly on the forms. Just take them, the forms, and they'll see what they need to do. The two most agent 違う。アージェントかな。Jobs are those for人情かな。わかんないな。あれは。And nervous anger. Take these homes to them. Come back here and let me know once you've delivered the forms. 誰かと誰かに会いに行けみたいな感じ。とりあえず中入ろう。時間になったら始まるでしょ。 ミスターチー。アンドライさんだ。カテリーナ。カテリーナさん綺麗よな。その仮面の下を見せてほしいわ。先生まだ？じゃあちょっとお話しする？アンドレイさん。Welcome. How may I just assist you today? Who are you? I am the account manager here at the Northland Bank. Feel free to find me for help with any matters you'd like to take care of in the bank. If you are interested in a loan, I can assure you that our interest rates are better than any of the local lenders you'll find around here. You'll also find our savings か。savings accounts much more competitive as well. Our interest return on savings will surely be higher than any local lender. So no matter what your business may be, Northland Bank can always be the first to meet your banking needs. だってまだ始まらん。Goodbye. あ、そっか。チェンジできるんだった。これ6000もらえるんでした。タルタルからもらったからな。これ何時だっけ？ナビゲート。お外。いや、中やんな。でもパイン飴見つけちゃった。ここのパイン飴取ってないな。あ、ここじゃないや。こっちが先か。Sorry。それは何も始まらないね。はい。
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests. We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here? Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank. Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on here? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Look for Zhongli at Northland Bank.
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you're also one of the harbingers?
Harbingers. Harbingers? Senora.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right.
Right.
I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Breathe. Just stay calm. I still have time to take it back.
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that.
That's
Sure, I may have misled you,
sure.
but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on.
Cassiel leading me on. Zhongli tricked you? Senora and Zhongli?
So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child.
Stop
There'll be plenty of time to
wasting
chat
time,
once
child.
I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
Gnosis, please. G って読まないんだ、これ。Agreement. Gnosis.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled.
Contract.
That which thou
Is
seeketh is
fulfilled.
now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as
My
stone.
promise is solid as stone.
How sanctimonious.
Sanctimonious. So genre is actually Rex Lapis. I mean, I did have my suspicious. Huh? Suspicion.
What? So you're the Lord of Chiao? No,
Lord
wait.
Chiao?
That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
Fatui.
I do not give it for
I do
free.
not give it for
I give it
free.
as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
I'm afraid I don't understand. And why did you feign your death?
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liyue goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Think about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait,
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain.
Perhaps it's
As you know,
best.
I've dwelt
As
upon
you
this
know.
world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti.
It's
Even
Adepti.
boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come.
Not yet
Until
come.
one drizzly day,
Until
as I was strolling along the harbor,
drizzly
I heard a
day.
merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
So, were you satisfied? Satisfied か。Satisfied with the final? Let me guess. You had another plan in case it all burned down.
That's right,
That's
which is
why.
why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been
Yes.
all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution
Yeah.
to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, This is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liu, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight?
We were both equally horrid. You're really embarrassing. Yourself this time.
Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you
Do
wish.
as you wish. シニョラへな。実装してほしいな。
Is there anything else you wish to ask me?
ゼウダヤさんこんばんは。I'd like to know what the cryo organ offered you. What could possibly be worth a gnosis?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
There's no such thing.
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Brave Northland Bank の前にジョン・レイと話そう。ゴーレンネオさんこんばんは。Good evening.
Paimon can't absorb so much information at once. So Zhongli, what sort of contract did you sign with the Cryo Archon? Paimon's so curious.
One of the clauses of our contract was not to divulge any of its contents.
You're so petty.
You're so pretty.
Paimon, so
あ、
Zhongli...
一緒なのか。じゃあ。バイ・ジョン・レイ。
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
総選儀式やるんやな。多分。Maybe.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis
So
is really...
Rex Lapis is really...
But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think?
You know
I don't
what
think
I
any of the
think?
gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
The Fatui?
It's a
They certainly are
Fatui.
very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
What's the hurry?
Sold up.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say,
Hi.
do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes,
very
it's very
possible.
possible indeed.
Yes, it's very possible indeed.
I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's
Okay.
no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
シバイルって言ってるもしかして私間違えてたか
Hear ye all!
Here
Cheesing's
are
words.
the Cheesing's words.
Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge.
This is common
Gods
knowledge.
and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Cheesing's announcement said.
This says that Rex Lapis wasn't なんだこれmurdered They said that Rex Lapis died because of a diving trial.
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off.
Something
Why would they
feels
suddenly give
off.
up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Cheesing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
That's possible. I think you hit the bull's eye this time.
Exactly, right?
Exactly right.
Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
Go to the side of the right of padding. お、3人揃った。
Look, it's Ningguang and Kuching. Are they saying something? Are their speeches over?
Speech is over.
As said previously, Rex Lapis' soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
天ユーヘンはあんま変わらないんだな。
Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Traveler.
Yes, she really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young.
So
The
young.
Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve
Name
that
your
much.
price.
Whoa.
Price か。
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
唯一喋る場所やんな。ここだけじゃないっけ？リーウェだとここだけだよね。
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lapis. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1 stroke.
As for the mortals and adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
Rex Lapis.
Rex Lapis.
Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Roping you in was possibly the most masterful move we could have made. I believe that future generations will say so too when our deeds come up for their review.
Why you?
Were
you just trying to look cool earlier, or are you really that selfless? If you were looking for someone, you could have just told me that in private.
The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of the rite? There's much that remains to be done. I didn't miss anything, did I?
You're right. Wait. ジョンレイにやってくるよ。
Hey, Zhongli!
ジョンレイ。
Look at this.
Look at
Everyone
this.
in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Here you are.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. I might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinya kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
Are you sure you can?
You're right.
You're right.
I do like the
I do
Mora.
like the Mora. You've been this way this entire time, but why would Marcus lack Mora?
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder.
No wonder.
Someone gets it now.
Someone gets
You
it
didn't
now.
look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money.
You
don't have to say
don't
it like
have
that.
to say
In
it
the City
like
of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you.
It was a fine journey.
That is true.
That is true.
There is no journey that does not end. No meetings
No
without
meeting
partings.
without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently
Inazuma
closed.
is presently closed. Closed? 鎖国って。Who the god who rules Inazuma?
Yes. The nation has been closed by order of its deity, the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden shogun.
Raiden shogun. すげえ聞き馴染みがあっていいね。稲妻の名前は多分絶対さ、聞き馴染みあるんよ。さあ、稲妻、shogunate. The shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Because of visions.
Visions?
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
That's harsh.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
So about the trial.
Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know?
What about their child?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Qixing from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know?
Yeah. As for the new HSC.
The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know?
About Mora.
That's right.
Right.
Now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just going to disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo Archon's power.
This is terrible!
This is
We're all about to
terrible.
run out of Mora! The world is coming to
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Qixing to debate.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund.
Private fund.
This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea. It's a shame.
It's a shame.
What's a shame?
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wished to know?
No. There's nothing else.
Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience.
Have patience.
I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
Serendipity と。とりあえず一章終わりましたね。Chapter 1 finished。なんかいろいろある。New quest。待って、赤クエストこんなにあったっけ？チャプター1、アクト5。チャプター2が始まるでしょ？イントロデュースチャプターアクト2のこっちからだよ。何が邪魔してる？これが単純に1をやれっていう話やん。We will be なんちゃらかんちゃら。そんなのある？あ、これか。これをやれって話で、チャプター1。これ。ボールキーパー。ダインスレイブ。ダインスレイブのやつね。これをやんなきゃいけないね。なるほど。OK。これは何？ティーポー。これはやんなきゃ。欲しい。Generate. Alright then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Nothing. じゃあね、Generate。インバイアに会ってくるよ。What's the hurry? 早く壺を解放したいんだ。Talk to Madame Ping. Hey.
Children,
come.
You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
I've been working
for you. Granny? Need any help?
Granny?
Oh, no.
No.
You've done so much for Liyue already.
For
I could hardly ask for more. In fact,
already
my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
A gift? For Paimon? I already did as I should. You're too kind.
Oh, child.
You are so very modest.
Uncommonly so, even.
Uncommonly
But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell,
Cleansing
I
bell.
heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply
won't do.
Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy.
Creation abilities atrophy. That's subspace creation.
Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
Trinket, you say.
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
What are the missing materials? I can help you look for them.
That's right!
Just right.
That's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days.
Very rare indeed these days. And what are those, if I might ask?
Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an Adepti treasure, and the Adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Who's this child?
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
She counts?
Counts?
How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so.
Maybe so.
Who can say?
Who can say?
A few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny.
I'm back, Granny.
I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the
Yanfei.
one helping run some errands for me. Yanfei, I believe you've already
Yanfei.
heard of the traveler and her traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records.
はい。
You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame.
What a shame. A shame?
A shame that we didn't meet sooner.
Meet sooner.
If we had,
If we had.
I can't
Well,
say that I
can
would have been able to
say
clear
that-
your suspicion immediately,
はい。
but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you.
Embarrassing for you.
Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor.
Yanfei.
Got a legal problem? You can come right to me.
You can come right
yes.
to me.
Here's my business card. You'll
Business
find it has my
card.
contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yanfei.
All right, Yanfei. All right.
Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this, ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Are you really? Adeptus?
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before. An Adeptus?
Adeptus?
I guess,
I
kinda.
guess,
My old man
kinda.
said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Okay.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went
What
back
do you
to
mean?
get married? Well, my dad did say that he talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently.
Wedding gift.
Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all.
Is that so?
Is that so?
But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential. Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment.
Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
That's a really thick book.
Very sick book.
You read in there?
って熱いだっけ
Commercial consultancy. Or
Snezhnaya? Oh,
found him.
found him.
Crossel. A
Crossel.
Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some.
We're going with you.
Oh, you want to join me?
Join me?
Suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy. Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
ハイモンが遅く聞こえるね。ピンバーヤー。
Some people find
Yanfei to be
demanding. Do try to be gracious with her.
Do try to... もう一回。
Some people find Yanfei to be rather demanding. Do try to be gracious with her.
Gracious with her. Okay.
What's the hurry?
Mr. ちゃんちゃんか？ちゃんちゃんごめんね。後で。No.
Hello, Mr. Crossell.
Hello, Mr.
How's business
Cross.
been?
Oh, good. Very good.
Very
All
good.
thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind.
You're
I
too
was simply
kind.
doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhi Qiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhi Qiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhi Qiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
No, this. 何これ？ ambiguous.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhi lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
We'll be off now. 短いのだったらついていけるけど、長いのは無理。じゃあ一応。
What's the hurry?
Hello?
Oh, whatever shall I do?
What shall I do? Excuse me. Are you... なんだこれ。じちゃおじちゃおでいいのかな？
Yes, that's me.
That's me.
Is there something I can help you with?
Help you with.
How do you do, Miss Zhi?
How do you
We
do,
understand from Mr.
Mr.
Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins?
Hairpins.
I can't lend them to you right now.
To you right now.
I've lost them.
I've
I
lost
don't know
them.
how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice.
Why did you need them in the first place?
My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around. so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, well, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
What will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Maybe because this is the part where we say we can help.
Would you really?
Would you
I sent a
really?
commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run
Hold
off
on.
looking for the hairpins just yet. Mr. Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juchao somehow.
水餃難しい That would be a little unfair to Crosser.
True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution. Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher?
Even higher?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Juchao looks like she's about to
Juchao da.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins. Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins. Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there? Seems right.
Seems right.
Please.
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 Please,
Don't trouble
Don't
yourselves
trouble
over this.
yourself.
The fact is, I
over
lost
this.
the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract.
It's such a... has... some money. So...
However much it is, I will have to pay
much
it.
it.
My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue, and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
Mr. Chow?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch.
Who's that?
Finest quality jade.
Finest quality jade. Is something the matter?
No, it's nothing.
No, it's
I just need to
nothing.
re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Okay. That's so.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've
Yanfei.
returned. With
You've
Miss
returned.
Juchao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins?
How are the hairpins?
I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
About that. Juchao.
You lost them?
You lost them?
Are you serious?
Are you
Do you have
serious?
any
Do
idea
you
how
have any
expensive
idea
they
how
were?
expensive
I'm
they
sorry. I'm sorry. Truly, I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last Mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem.
No
But
problem.
before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course.
Of
Genuine
course.
article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood.
Understood.
I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Please
Thank
wait
you very
here.
much.
Thank you very
How could
much.
she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last Mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow.
Where is
I have something to
Mr.
discuss
Chow?
with you.
Chow.
It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
I can sit. Find the convenient place to talk to teacher. 何かがあるんだな。なんだ？ John Joe is busy with the quest. Pressing the drawings. Pressing the drawings. どれ？これか。OK。先にこれをやれと。Oh boy. Nah. I'm in trouble. Click. Joe told me to give this to you. She needs a report of. No. Liz, I actually had started keeping track of this at the very start. But then there's also the imported goods report. The reports crew information and the customer's report. There's just so much to keep track of. Report this record that I simply can't keep up with it all. Higher でいいのかな Higher some help. Just do this report that click Joe wants fast. Do the most important report fast. I want to, but it will take some time to find someone, so that won't help me finish the work at hand. So か、フレンズシップがあるのか。There's no time. Just go and explain the situation. I can help out. ダメかな。Thanks for the offer, but if you aren't familiar with the work, you won't be much help. はい、全く分かんなかった。I'm still going to put it off to later. Then you need to figure it out yourself. Priorities your work better next time. これかな。I always tell myself I should, but I just get so busy that I forget to priorities. There's just too much work to do in the harbor. Too much. I thought about it, but there's just not enough time. I have to work harder. あ、違った。多分。ハーバーじゃないだろう、多分。読み間違えた。I burn the midnight oil tonight. And tomorrow. And the day after that. See if I can finish recording all the ships in the harbor. After all, this was a very fast report I started working on, so it shouldn't be the last one I submit. Submit? サブマイト？サブミットかな？ Give the invoice to... なんだこれ。じゃんじょの君じゃない。こっちじゃなかった。こっちだ。No, that's not quite right either. かな。クリクチャー told me to give this to you. Huh? About the plans for Lantern Light. Oh, I'm writing that right now, but it feels like it's missing something, so I keep editing it. Everybody needs to do their very best for a big festival like Lantern Light. So I can't submit this plan just yet. You are running out of time. Just submit it now. It will never be perfect. That may be true, but I should strive for perfection, no? That may be true, but I should strive for... あ、これ読んだわ。今読んだわ。Any plan is better than no plan. There's nothing wrong with your plan. Submit it fast. You can change more later. Later? That's true, but I shouldn't submit a plan that something wrong with it. Should I? あ、何も変わらんわ。2個目だったか。Get ideas from last year's plan. Be confident. Confident か。Be confident. Then keep thinking. Yes, give me a bit more time, and I'll be able to write the perfect plan. あ、下がっちゃった。Sorry. I have to give it my all. And then write. Think. Janjo. Think. No. The people of Rio have been easily かな easily かな looking forward to lantern light. Nobody will be satisfied if it's just a touched up version of last year's plan. Don't try to stop me. I still need to make some changes. Need to make the perfect plan. Okay.
What's the hurry?
What's the hurry? あ、君の任務はなんとなく覚えてるよ。あれでしょ？本格じゃなくて、上の警察層の子供のところのじゃなかったっけ？ You are back and nervous and Janjo just sent me a message. Only one of them promised they would submit their work on time. But I guess one is better than none. As for the other one, I just have to continue to press them. Regardless, I'm grateful for your help. Take this as thanks. OK。これで、これはいけるはず。Navigate。
What's the hurry?
What's the hurry? いっぱいあるな。
Miss Yanfei.
Miss
What is this
Yanfei.
about?
What is this about?
Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after all.
Yeah, not... これさ、全然聞き取れてない。サマライダーステイディート。Really? ダメだ、全然言えてない。
Are you implying that you already
What do
sneaked
you
off and
mean?
found them? Obviously not.
Obviously
I'm no adventurer,
not.
let alone a member of the
Won't be
guild.
us,
I don't run
me.
thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say
Let's just
I
say
made some
I
deductions.
made some deduction.
I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy.
Elemental
If
energy.
mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I have deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
If we were to confront him now,
not.
there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
A very vivid description.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then,
Well
since you're so
then.
experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
If I had one more for every time I hear the word contract.
It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
Such a order.
Alright, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy.
Need me to do anything?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geo-energy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... Where can we find someone who processes ore? Ah, I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
I took this dough.
Catch the wind.
Hey, Stow.
Why, hello there, honored customers.
Welcome to... Oh,
it's you.
It's you, Miss Yunfei. Is something the matter?
Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
私もね、終えてないんですよ。聞けるけど、終えてないって感じ。
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes.
Oh, yes.
It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Right over there,
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
勝利先生は優しかった。こやつはまだ優しい方なんですよ、多分。早いけど。エンヒちゃん、冒頭めちゃくちゃ早すぎて全然追えんかった。
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings.
わらわら。
スマラジャスって言ってる。スマラジャス。ネフライトはわかるな。
Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus Jadeite.
スマラジャスって言ってるように聞こえるな。
A thin layer of separation, huh?
Separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental sight a shot. So, did you find anything?
Did you find anything? Not. Trace of elemental energy.
So they really are different. But wait! How come Jichao was able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Why couldn't Sito tell them apart?
These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
Alright, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
We're going off
But
on
never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Sito.
Try your luck betting on Jade? Miss Yanfei?
Miss Yanfei?
Might I be so bold as to inquire?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus Jadeite, did he not?
Smaragdus.
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus Jadeite, uncut.
Then I have no further questions.
Smaragdus.
But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Why you need them?
I have my reasons.
I have
yes.
my reasons.
Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see.
I see.
Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yanfei.
Miss Yanfei,
might I know the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did.
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think.
Jewelry.
Nope. Aha! Got it. Sing.
Got it.
She often helps people to find a jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the popular service indeed.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish?
To finish.
Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
Memorize them?
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
Is this how Adepti become so adept at everything?
Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual tone.
Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Singsi.
Okay. Singsi.全然理解は追いつかん。まず英語についていけないっていう。
Oh, Miss Yanfei, it's you. Has something happened?
Something
Did the
happened.
client from last time
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course.
Yes, of
I'm
course.
just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossel. Yes, I remember
それ
him.
なんですよね。
He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here.
Miss Inksy, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus Jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again.
Thanks again.
Everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble.
Must be the natural or legal consultancy か。
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
バイジョって誰？
The weirdo with the snake around
あ、あれか。
What do you want to speak
略術か。
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
白先生。ナナいるかしら。ナナいないっけ？
What's the hurry?
What's the hurry? 白先生。ナナがいない。
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yanfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No.
No.
I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if your pressing business might be related to the Snezhnayan merchant?
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind.
You're too
Take
kind.
care now.
Take care now.
That Baizhu guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Show me your prescription.
Baizhu.
Take care now,
Take care
everyone.
now, everyone. それしか言ってくれないか。じゃあ後でな。
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a
Investigation.
position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful.
Payable.
Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course.
Of course.
According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Me pay her?
Me pay her?
Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all.
Not
According
at
to my
all.
investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you
Miss
cannot frame me
You
like
can
this.
frame me
I
like
spent
this.
a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake?
指を
I
さすな。
demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question.
Evidence in question. うちの子に指さしてんじゃないよ。Show the evidence from the なんだっけ Jade Mystery か。
This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner Chateau.
Seriously?
Serious,
Even the
right?
boss there couldn't
Yes, boss,
differentiate
yeah.
between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus
case.
nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
Show him, Traveler. これやったもんね。Show the evidence from missing jewelry. Missing jewelry.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus jadeite.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right.
Of course
All
I'm
the
right.
evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case.
Show the evidence from pharmacy.
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
No idea, you say?
No idea,
I
you
guessed
say.
as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait!
Wait.
I knew.
Oh, so you knew?
You knew?
Dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Zerchow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
My client. Yu-san, konbanwa.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
Okay. That's legal. Consultancy for you.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
So why did you charge Zhiqiao such an extortionate rental price?
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then My days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
10 times.
Croso looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus Jadeite.
There's no need.
Yes,
It's
no
fine.
need.
You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus Jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Chow, you...
However,
you.
Mr. Crossel, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus Jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But I... All right then.
Alright then.
This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yunfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus Jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever, it'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to
come
stand on
on.
ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crossel come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossel, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so?
That's
good.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crossel, I'd like to talk business for a second if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus Jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Yes. So, there were some twists and turns along the way.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution.
I can't say I've ever met adeptus like you before.
An adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
I think there is more than just reason involved か Here, Paimon.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
What's the hurry?
Dr. Madam Pin. ピンバーや会いに行くよ。ショートカット。 Baya.
Ah, you've returned.
You've returned.
How did it go?
How did
Were
it
you able
go?
to find the Smaragdus Jadeite?
We are thanks to Yahweh.
Good.
Good.
Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then.
All right, then.
Go see to
Go
your
see
business.
to your business.
Granny should be able to
Granny
handle
should
the
be
rest.
able
I'm
to
off
handle
then.
the rest.
Bye! Oh,
handle-
yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts, too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot.
Teapot.
I'm leaving!
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
That child.
Kawaii.
Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis.
Sorry. Unique adapters.
Indeed she
Indeed
is.
she is.
Liyue has changed,
And
and the Adepti must
and the
also
Adepti
learn to
must
change.
also learn to
Yanfei
change.
might be overly garrulous, but she is also the
これ
most
くらいゆっくりなら
intimately
ね。
acquainted with the city among us all. Ah, Liyue is
Here
not the
is
same
not the
place I
same
once
place
knew.
I once knew. Granny.
All right then.
All right then.
Let us speak of
Let
this
us
no
speak
more.
this
Back
no
on
more.
topic.
Back
I
on
believe
topic.
that I still owe you a little gift.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
And how long does it take?
It is but a single
but a
teapot.
single
It shan't
teapot.
take long at all. Just wait here for a moment.
リトルギフトじゃなくてビッグギフトよ、これは。
This serenity pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it,
Serenity.
oh goodness, who knows what
Goodness.
might happen? Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Thanks, Granny.
Wait a minute, Granny!
Wait a
How
minute.
exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't
You
worry
need
about
worry
that.
about that.
I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await
Little
you within this
helper.
teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
やったー、壺解禁だー。アンロック。やったー。やっと壺に行ける。どうしようか。馴染みのあるこれかな？これか？これどんなだっけ？ああ、そんなか。これでいいや。馴染みがあるんだもん。それ、ピンって。ピンで飛んだよ。Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside.
There's
Yeah,
even a
Madame
creepy
Pants.
house in the middle too! Huh.
Oh.
But there's just a whole load of nothing around it.
Gets Gisering? Paimon. You could carve us wall or house out of this rock. Go dig a burrow. Drive in For now, I guess.
Hey! There's a perfectly good house right over there! Why should Paimon have to live in a hole in the ground? Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house? Oh, wait a second. What is
wait
that?
a second. What is that? この子なんだっけ?
Well, it
Wow,
seems that
it
we have a visitor.
seems we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch! Excuse me.
Excuse
I am
me,
not a
I am
finch.
not a finch.
I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again?
まるかわいいな。
Oh, call me.
Call me.
I suppose you may call me
you may
Tubby.
Call me Tubby. You certainly look the part.
So you're the little helper.
Little helper.
Madam Ping
Madam Ping?
Madam Ping.
Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she
Ping.
did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night.
So, what's a Teyvat spirit exactly?
Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like. As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints?
Blueprints?
Oh, that's right!
That's
Granny
right.
handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up.
Blueprints.
Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits. This world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be?
I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since.
Very strange.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you would like to ask, just look for me.
Just look for me. あー、これ読むのつら。読もうか。セラニティだっけ？セラニティポート。Important message. After using and summoning the Serenity Pot, travelers can interact with it and enter the abode within. Travelers can also
I didn't know
use
you were such a slacker.
and summon the pot while they are within its confines, interacting with the Serenity pot. In this state will allow travelers to leave it. Travelers can also directly open the map interface and fast travel to any of the teleport waypoint to immediately leave the Serenity pot. Talk to the teapot spirit inside the Serenity pot to learn about and manage all manner of teapot related affairs. You can create all kinds of items from the creation screen. Materials used to create items can be gathered all over the world. After obtaining furnishing, use the place function to put it
Come on, let's get moving.
in position.
We're not frozen in place after all.
Place furnishings to increase the adapter energy rank of your Serenity bot. As your adapter energy rank increases, realm currency will accumulate at a faster rate. Spend
Seems all the other knights already have their hands full.
Spend realm currency in the realm depot to purchase various items. Once in a while, a depot traveling salesman depot traveling salesman will visit your abode. There is a chance that he will bring some rare treasures with him. If you acquire the blue point for a furnishing set, you can place furnishings by
Come on, let's get moving.
But
we're not frozen in place after all.
You can still make adjustment adjustments to individual furnishings when batch pressing them. 終わった。読み切ったぞ。Teyvat talk. I arrive quickly. Good. What's up? You are not going to ask me for help with something again, are you? No, no, of course not. 早い。I asked you to come here, so I could give you a little gift. I do not know if I told you before, but these about private spaces created by the adepti for themselves. Most adepti will use certain methods to sell their abode away from the rest of the world to ensure its parity and avoid being disturbed. Afterward, adepti would create a real dispatch for those they wished to invite into their world. This real dispatch deals signatures でいいのかな of the abodes adeptal energy and that of the adeptus themselves. As such, anyone who has this dispatch can enter or exit the abode freely. Before, this abode was incomplete embodied なんだこれ embodied embryonic status. Those whom you invite into it would only have been able to exit and enter together with you. rather than remain for long periods. But now, well, take this near dispatch that I have created for you and hold it in your hand. Title now. What should I do next? I thought it needed some of my energies. Don't worry. You need only hold this dispatch, and it will draw some of your energy out and into it. Ah, yes, I had been mentioned that you have made friends in a great many places. As such, I suspect that where we to distribute one dispatch to each one of them. We would be here making dispatches for a long time. As such, I have made some modifications to this dispatch. All you need to do is tap the palm of the person you'd like to invite rightly with the dispatch, and your energy signature will remain on them, allowing them to enter and leave your realm with ease. It's almost like making, isn't it? Well, sort of. But why did you have to put it so? Weirdly? Well, here is the real dispatch. Go forth and invite whoever you wish. It seems that this place shall become library quite soon. What? Press 7 to open the placement screen.なんかいっぱい書いてある。そうや。return from なんちゃら to single player mode during special challenge. 何それ。
Maybe you're not used to the place at the moment, but once you've materialized enough rooms and furniture through subspace creation, it will feel just like home.
あ、そういう感じね。ランクバースト。ガンガン上げていくか。これを変えるようにしたいからね。とりあえず買いたい。Goodbye。とりあえずこれを置くのと、また始まるのか、テトリスが。テトリス。このままだよ。No. No. No. ここに置いとこう。一人しか置けないもんね、まだ。ガイア2枚。面白いな。Okay. Trees. No. No. Ah, yes, yes.置けるものを置いておこう。OK。草か。草。割とどこでも置けるからな。いいっすよね。OK。
Maybe you're not.
はい。あ、そっか。一個ずつしか作れないのか。OK。全然買えない。
If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.
You may ask me. なんで、どうしようかな。とりあえず魔人任務は終わったから2章まで、2章じゃないや、1章まで。とりあえずあれだな、間違えた。世界任務を消化したいけど絵も描かなきゃいけないからカズハと ヘゾくん。カズハね、さっき出かけた時に空き時間でちょこちょこって書きつつはあったんですけど、顔すら完成せんかった。タボって言っても全然タボじゃないですけどね。グッ。あ、やべ、バーバラにし忘れた。まあ、いっか。In this day. じゃーん。
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
いつになったらお姉ちゃんみたいに大きくなれるのかなってやつやんな。バーバラを入れてあげるか。
A dance from Barbara to bring you more healing.
キラキラってなんて言うんだろう。いや、これしんどいな。自分召喚しなきゃ。キラって言わない。なんやって。バラ。バラ、これ戻せるべき？HP がない。案外 HP なかったりするの？ああ、エンヒちゃんはちょっと許可しちゃいそうだからやめて。あ、HP やん、これ。交換しよう。タックか。こっちのがいいなぁ。兄さんね。ここに HP ない？あったな。ヒーリングバースト。ボーナスだった。ヒーリングボーナス。何つけてたっけ？そりゃなさそうだな。 ないね。どうしようかな。あ、でもこれのままでいっか。5000円しか言ってないけど。まあまあまあまあ。間違えた。こうだな。いやー、こうするか。師匠に怒られる。さて、じゃちょっと、あれだな。消化するのと、これ行きたいけどさ、行きたいけど、あれだよな、多分。ちょっと。あ、そうだ。そもそも、兄さん。あ、そっか、兄さんをあげたのか。かわいい。兄さんより言っちゃったな。
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
バーバラのランクじゃないや、レベル上げたいけど。レベル上げたいけど。ちなみに師匠ってまだいます？やってなさそうだな。いなさそうだな。バーチャルの世界に行ってるっぽいから。おお。Yeah.
Freeze. Dodge this.
That's it. No. はい。あれ、世界ランク上げるやつってないよね。今回あるかな。スペシャルコミッション。スプレンク。エプロレーション。スキッパー。ああ、これの話か。これやんなきゃこれができないのね。OK。
Come on, let's get moving.
Let's go, Mom.
We're not frozen in place after all.
ついでだ。君らおいで。こっちに。Hey. Come on.
Oh, so sorry.
Let's dance. Prepare to be blown away.
No, ミスったん。
Freeze.
No. あ、優秀。ところで、アンバー、あれだな。武器を変えてないな、私。アンバーじゃないや。バーバラ。武器変えてない、多分。あは。どうしようか。HP 上がるのないのかな。ないな。じゃあこれとりあえずつけとこうか。いらな。バーバラの回復能力どんなよ。あ、でも700回復するならよくない？結構。ビガーン。ブリンブリン。No. No.
Let's dance.
Let's dance. Freeze. じゃあね。Goodbye. 今日はあれやったっけ？開けてないとこ開けたいけどな。どうしよう。キルチャール探し行こうかな。でももう1時か。終わらないとな。あ、あ、理解。どこやってないんだ？こっちか。あそこもやってない。あ、それもやってない。あ、それもやってないな。あれこれ真正面だったよね。これのいっちゃん上やったな。なんで私は飛んできたんだろう。そこにね、飛べばいいのにね。なんでだ？なんで滑空してきた私は。いけるか？ No.
These things
useful? Useful? No. No. これで参加者全部ねやりましたって。で今度こそここだな。ところでだ、この下いないかい。いないのか。アクティベート。おう。あ、このムービー入ったっけ？オーバーロックビュー、ルッキングビューか。Fascinating。うまー。上の方は開けてないから開けておく？いや、めんどくさいな。あ、待って。そっか。いけるからできるのか。いや、あと、2です。2日でいけるか。いや、でも明日やればいいんだもんな。あ、いつの間に？
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice
My
to
name
meet
is
you.
Xiangling.
あと2回行かないとか。OK？ いや、現地本でいいよね。こっち方面だったはず。あれ？しょぼん。
Catch the wind.
Catch the wind. ああ、ホットだの兄ちゃんたちか？いや、違うな。課金号が出てくるやつだな。にゃおら。Cool. Will be frozen. ででででん。Dodge this. No. 熱い。よいしょ。そっちは風ならこっちも風だ。 ブリンブリン。ダメだな。231っていうのになれないな。もうこれになれないとな。フリーズ。こっちか。そこなんだ？誰だ？誰出てくるっけ？ああ。ビガン。あ、まだ生き残ってる。No, no. I'm so sorry. Dodge this.
Freeze! What's the hurry? Cool it!
あ、一回多かったか。やっちゃった。まあ、いっか。これはやらなければならない。あ、そういうことか。これがそうだったのか。そういうことか。これやんなきゃじゃん。いやでも、石灰任務だったらすぐ終わるか。明日やろう。やるよ。ダイスライブに会わなきゃね。確かにあったな、そんなに。なるほど。オッケー。ここだな。カズハ来ると信じて、ここ行っておこうか。いや、来るか来ないだろう。30連ごときじゃ来ない気するんだよな。シオンがあと誰来るかによるな。どうしよっかな。まあでも、言っといて損はないと思うんだよな。って言って勤労を使う子いたっけ？星4で。星4で勤労使うのって、運金か。運金は使うな。育てやすいし、多分、使うと思う。OK。行くか。自分を召喚しよう。その間に、これを、足りない。全然足りない。OK。それがそんなに必要なのね。
We're not frozen in place after all.
No。めっちゃ使うやん。ちょっとだけお待ちを。Wait a moment。Wait a moment でいいんだっけ？ちょっと待ってって。ここって何入れたっけな？全然覚えてないけどな。長いな。スマホのロードが長いんですが。好き。この二人並ぶの。水と氷？どうしようか。たまには使ってあげる？過剰戦力。ああ、でも、あれだな。あれ置いとけばよかったな。八重様。八重様置いておけば、何も心配いらないもんね。OK？No. OK です。OK です。じわじわと体力削られていくのが何とも言えないけど。一冊だけか。少ないな。まあでもそんなもんか、最初は。お兄様連れてくればよかった。今思った。お兄さんは連れてくるべきやったな。これは。はい。はい。 数字逆転しないかな。
Don't push your luck. This doesn't look good.
Here comes the cash. Gotcha.
兄さんごめんよ。うん。消化しきったね。いくつだ。行ってないんだよな、まだ。行かなきゃな。でも、そもそも上まで行けないから、あれだけどさ。
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you?
カウントされるのかな。さあ、どうだろう。カウントされてなさそうだな。あ、そもそもないか。必要じゃなきゃいけないのか。じゃあやっても意味ないな。終わろう。 なんでフル回復しないんだ。あ、したした。
What's the hurry?
What's the hurry? よいしょ。いないなぁ。そうか？違うな。
What's the hurry?
なさそう。いないなぁ。あとどこだ？いないね。ここもいない、そこもいない。
Cryo is always far more effective in the rain. This is going to
ああ、
get
それは行か
interesting.
なきゃな。お兄さん、遊ぼう。Freeze! あ、No, no. 踏んじゃった。君らもそれが必要なんだ。
Quite the find.
Quite the fine.
What's the hurry?
Let's dance.
Dodge this. Fascinating.
Fascinating. あ、バレました？じゃあ遊びましょうか。No!
This one will be frozen.
No!
Come on, we can do it. Help protect us.
No!
Dodge this.
Dodge it!
Cool it. Dodge this.
No.
Let's dance.
Freeze. Don't get frostbite.
Get back.
Windblade.
Windblade. No! ふう。これをしに来たんじゃないんだよ、私は。So sorry.
Freeze.
Quite the find.
んで、いるかい？いないか。あ、いた。はいよ。もうひどむ。ヒルチャール語変わってなくて安心するよ。みんな減ったー。こっちだ。読みが当たったな。いかたん。ぶざぶか。必要なのがこれだね。あ、2個しか作れない。あ、でも3個あるっぽいな。じゃあ大丈夫か。あ、これいっぱいあるじゃん。じゃあ20個くらい作っちゃう。であ、やべ。足りない。一冊作れたっけ？全然作れたな。旦那が来てくれたらな、使うけど、バリバリ。優先かな。34連か、まだ。でもこれを受け取ればいいの？これやっとかないとね。あ、これを受け取れば結構いきそうだな。 よし。じゃあ今日は終わりましょうか。また明日。明日やろう。明日はお絵描きもします。ちゃんと。カズハの下書きだけでも終わらせなきゃ。明日で。できればペン入れと色分けまで行きたいな。明後日楽するためにも。エイペックスもしたいし。プロセガもしたいし。忙しい。自分の体が3つ4つ欲しい、ね。とりあえずまた明日やります。昼間できるかちょっとわかんないですけど、まあ、できそうだったら午前とか昼間とかもやりますね。では、お疲れ様でした。長々とありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。Good night. See you again.